Hey guys, it's Victor here again, and today we're going to go over soft patching or patching. And just real quick, just in case you're not familiar with the term, soft patching is when you assign a channel to an address or circuit. We'll just use the term address. For example, I can take a light that's plugged into circuit number 6, or which is the address is 6, and make it channel 501, or I could take an LED with a DMX address of 255 and assign it as channel 1. You may come across the term hard patching, but that just refers to the um, physical connection of the dimmer uh, connected to the circuit. Um, so that's just what a hard patch is. Soft patching is what we're going to go over today on this video. Basically, what you do on the console is soft patching. I'm going to be using the EOS Family Console Programming Level 1 Essentials Workbook for version 2.9a. That is the version I have here on Nomad. Um, I'm going to make this available on a PDF. It's basically better than a manual because a manual just tells you how to do it, and this workbook gives you examples and tells you what to do, and you really get familiar with the consoles. So I will be um, putting all 3 levels on a PDF format available for print, and I will give that to Hide so he can go ahead and um, give you the workbook if you want it. Um, and again, you could always download Nomad, or if you have the console right in front of you and you're just watching this tutorial, cool. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. Let me go ahead and minimize my recording over here. Okay. So if you're using the Ion XE, you're going to go ahead and locate the address and patch button. Um, it is relative, to this screen. It is kind of in the same area up here on this upper left hand side. You could hit it twice, and now you're in this patch screen that it auto creates when you click it twice. You go to live, you go back to the screen you're on over here. Um, if you're on the older Ion, that Ion does not have a patch button. So from the display, you could either add it to a window by clicking on the plus, or you can go ahead and add it to a window if you have it empty. Um, more than likely you would just be adding it. So you would add it and you would just look for the one that says patch tab 12. And now you have a patch window. I'm going to use a bigger one just for the purpose of this video. Okay, so first we're going to start off by what the workbook refers to, patch by channel. And this is patching individual channels to individual addresses. So you go 601 at 250, enter. So I just patched channel 601 to address 250, 602 at 657, enter. I did the same thing with that channel, 603 2 slash 146, enter. Okay. So this is the workbook example by patching by channel, and the reason you would do this, well, first let me explain what I did here real quick, so there's no confusion. What's going on here is 2 is the universe, and 146 is the address. But the reason the workbook had me do it this way is because you could have multiple lights in different locations. They're not right next to each other, but you want the channels to fall in line, making programming easier. Um, you can make it's just showing you that you could really understanding how patching works. You're assigning a channel number to the address, wherever the light is. They don't have to be next to each other. That's sort of what the purpose of patch by channel. And most times your lights probably won't even fall in line with one another. Um, I know the plots I've seen, they that's not always the case. Uh, you can make it the case if you plan ahead and um, you circuit everything by you put it in the paperwork and before you do hang. Then yeah, sure, it's possible. But um, this is just if you're unfamiliar with patching, you're assigning the channel to the address. Next, we're going to go into range patching. So an example of this would be 604 through 610 at 101. Enter. If you look back over here, what we did was the ideal situation where your dimmers do fall in line with one another, and you want your channels to correspond. Uh, this is called range patching. So it automatically numbers it with 1, because these fixtures only take up one channel. It automatically knows uh, 101, 102, 103, etc. That's just range patching. Um, so I guess next I'm gonna go into um, patching what the word refers to, a multi-parameter device. Um, so which is basically an LED. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go 651 through 656, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on type. And when you're first starting off, you're gonna start here where it says show. You're gonna see where it says dimmer. This will actually say the lights that you are using in your show file. Whatever light you patch, it will save it here, just in case you gotta come back to it later. Um, but you're gonna go ahead and click on manufacture, and according to the workbook, we're gonna look for high-end systems. So it's in alphabetical order. You're gonna start on A. Obviously, you're gonna click back a few. Um, you're gonna click on high-end systems, and then you're gonna get a list of all these fixtures here. These lights are just different personalities. Some lights have different personalities just based off the mode. It would always tell you the amount of channels. With parentheses, the that is the amount of channels the light takes up. So if you have a fixture the 8 channel mode, 5 channel mode, that's basically why there's so many. It's asking for a Sola Frame Theater 47 channels. Here it is. Here it is. So if you look back over on this screen, it automatically highlighted the channels. It automatically set the personality, and it now you can just click at, and it's saying Universe 7, um, address 1. So Universe 7, address 1, enter. And if you look over here, now it automatically aligned the DMX addresses similar to the dimmers up here, except now um, it did it for the DMX addresses. And it's a, this method is really good at keeping you organized, simply because you know these lights fall under sorry, this range of addresses. Um, so I guess the second to last thing I want to show you before we're done is the workbook refers to it as a compound channel. And basically what that means is a channel that sorry, a channel that basically um, has two addresses. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you um, a quick example of that real quick. So go ahead and do channel 477 at 62. Oops. Enter. And then now I'm gonna enter 477 at 65. Now it's in a part. So um, basically now these lights are now there's one light that takes up two addresses, um, but needs two, or maybe they're twofered. So if you have two lights that are twofered, this is how you would get them to work under the same channel. If you're using a Verilight, let me see if I could bring that up. Um, Verilight VL. I think I don't know which VL we have here in the shop. Um, I'll just I know it's a 1000 spot. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe it's that one. So if you look here, created a part 3. Um, that's because it would have an address and a dimmer. Let me go ahead and delete part 2 real quick. Delete um, 477 part 2. Enter. Um, so 477 at okay. So I'm gonna put this in a universe. Let's say 110. Yeah, sure. So what it went ahead and did was I went ahead and set the address for it. It took up the 19 channels. Now I could enter in 477 part 2 at 60. Enter. So this is basically a light that requires you know a compound channel. The VL, I know we do have a VL here there in the shop, and It does take a circuit and it does take DMX power. So yeah, I think we went over toothing. Went over patch by channel, range patching. I guess the last thing to show you would be basically how to fix a mistake. And I guess the what you would do if you're on the Ion XE is you would just click undo. I'm pretty sure the old Ion has undo, but you would just hit undo, and then you're gonna open up a command history, press enter, and it basically does the undoes the last thing you did. Um, some people, I know I use this a lot. Um, if the older model does not have an undo button for whatever reason, you could always delete a channel completely and then just repatch it. Um, but pretty much that's it. Uh, you're probably going to do a channel check. I don't have 3D software for Nomad, so I can't show you what channel check would look like, but I'll go ahead and tell you how to do it. So you're going to want to go ahead and be in live. Let me go ahead and scroll here. Where is it? Okay, 601 through 610. I have these recorded. So what you would basically do, I believe you're entering the channel first, and then you're going to click highlight. Highlight is a soft key. It is there initially, but it kind of goes away when um, the Ion XC does have a highlight button physically, but the older one doesn't. It is in the soft keys. So this sort of acts like the older one in this sense. So I'm going to do 601, channel first, highlights in the back. So you got more soft keys, highlights, enter. And what happened is it went ahead and bought up your first channel, highlighted it, it's at full, and now all you gotta do is hit next. And it simultaneously brings up the next light. You go through all your channels. Um, Obviously, if the lights aren't in black, they're not active channels, so no light will come on. But that is how you complete a channel check. That's basically the process. That's basically what you would do after you patch everything. You want to test your equipment. Um, you would do the same thing for these lights down here, these Sola frames. You would test them as well. You would want to test all your equipment. But that's pretty much the end of this video. We went over patching, and I will make the workbooks I am looking at. I will make PDFs versions of them. Um, so they're available to you guys, and that is it. Uh, Thanks for watching.